What's up, YouTube? It's a Dingoose here, and today I'm going to show you a really funny deck that a friend told me about. Shining Sarcophagus Runick. So you may be wondering, what the heck? Don't worry. It's really cool and it has nice synergy. So yeah, we're gonna go into it. For those of you who don't know, Gold Sarc or Shining Sarcophagus is a deck of Yugi's cards basically recreated to work together. Not a TEM, little Yugi. So these are the cards that he used to be the guy in the final season. I'm not going to spoil who if you haven't watched it. I mean, it's 25 years old at this point, but still. So we're going to go in order of importance. So first off, Gadget Trio. This is bread and butter. I'm going to show all the monsters off and then in order of importance, and then I'll go into what they do. 2 Silent Magician 0. 2 Silent Swordsman 0. 1 Gandora, G, the Dragon of Destruction, and 1 more Marshmallow. These are all you need. These are all the monsters we play. It's literally just 9 monsters. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9 monsters. Okay, so we're gonna go into what they do. So if you're literally just here for how many we play, then sure, there you go. But if you actually want to learn what the cards do, here you go. So Gadget Trio. On summon, it could search for Shining Sarcophagus, which is the bread and butter of this deck. I mean, I'm gonna say that a lot. You know what? We're not gonna use that phrase. It's too thrown around. Like I just threw around these cards just now. Great. Okay, so this searches Gold Sarc or Shining Sarcophagus or any card that mentions it. So this is your normal summon of the deck. These are not your normal summons of the deck. This is. I mean, if you draw like these and you don't get this, then sure, but. Yeah, this could search Gold Sarc or any Shining Sarc or any card or any spell or trap that mentions it. The main card you'll be searching is Ties That Bind. I'll go into what this does later, but that's what you're mainly going for. Then you play 3 Silent Magician or 2 Silent Magician 0. This is your spell negate. If you control Shining Sarcophagus, okay, I'll just keep it here, and then I'll just point to it when I need to refer to it. So if your opponent activates a spell. While you control Shining Sarc, it can negate it, and then increase this card's level by 1. And then for every level this has above its original level, it gains 500 attack. And every time your opponent draws a card, or any number of cards, it increases its level by that number of cards drawn. And then you have Silent Swordsman 0. Basically same concept as 0, except this gains levels during each standby phase instead of when they draw. And then if your opponent activates a card effect that targets a card you control, you can negate it. While you control Shining Sarc. Then Gandora G, this is a searchable board wipe. So this will destroy everything on the field and banish them. And it gains 300 for each banished card. It starts at 0 attack, keep that in mind. But after it destroys everything, it summons a monster who mentions Gold Sarc from your deck. So most of the time, you'll have this already, so you don't need this. You'll get one of these two, probably. And then 1 more Marshmallow. This is literally just a hand trap, essentially, that makes it so you don't die. So, if you control the Shining Sarc, you can special this from your hand as a quick effect. And then, while it's on the field, it can't be destroyed by battle. And your opponent can't attack any other monster you control. Just this. So, it's literally just there to be annoying. And if your opponent somehow outs it, you could summon another one, but we only play 1, so. We don't want to brick on these. They're there if you need them. So that's basically what we do. And we'll go into like some synergies with these later. So yeah, Shining Sarcophagus. This has 2 other effects besides being able to search. It could search any card that mentions itself except itself. So it could search any one of these. You'll already have this most of the time. So if you don't have this and you draw this, you can go into this. And then this could search one of the spells. But other than that, you might want to go into one of these because you could special this from hand, and then this is your hand trap. So those will be saved for later. And then this also can't be destroyed by monster effects, so it won't be able to be destroyed by Gandora. So that's good. Also, your opponent can't Ghost Ogre this, so that's also good. And then if your opponent summons from the grave, you can discard a spell, then target that monster and send it back to the grave. So it has a lot of synergy with the Runic cards, but we'll go into that in a bit. And then we'll play the Ties That Bind. Basically, if you control Gold Sarc and a monster that mentions it, so most of the time that'll be this on the field already, you can summon 2 monsters from your deck that mention Shining Sarc. Okay, I'll put this back over here. So most of the time you'll have Trio, you'll get Shining Sark, you'll search this, and then you'll activate this, and then you'll want to get Magician 0 for your spell negate, and Silent Swordsman for your targeted negate. So, yeah, there's that. That's your main combo, and then literally just with this you've gotten 4 cards out of your deck. So that's really good. So, yeah, that's your main line with the gadget trio. So, woohoo. Okay, we'll keep that up there. And then for the next card, we play 3 Future Silence. It searches a monster that mentions Gold Sark. So if you don't have this already, you can search this. I have 3 of these because I only own 2 of these. But I would play 3 if I had the 3rd, and then I would play 2 of this. But as for right now, it's 2 and 3. But yeah, if you have 3, play 3 of this and then 2 of this, or whatever you want, I guess. Also, if you activate this during the battle phase, you after you do your search, both players draw until they have 6 in their hand. So that has some more synergy with this. So this will only work going second. It could search, but the draw effect will only work going second. So your opponent's probably gonna have an empty hand, which most of the time wouldn't be that good, but you can draw into more Runics because with this you thin your deck by 4 cards, so you have less chances of whiffing on your draws. Yeah, so that's that. And then 2-turn silence. If you control Gold Sark and you activate this in response to your opponent's monster effect, you can negate the effect, and then this also increases a monster's level by 3. So if you use it on one of these, they gain 1500 attack because they gain that off their level. And then if your Gold Sark monster battles, you can banish this from your grave and end the battle phase. So there's that utility. So you basically have 3 searchable ways to get saved. So woohoo, this card's pretty good. It's a monster negate in the form of a spell, so you don't have to worry about anything like Called By or anything like that. Or yeah. So yeah, that's it for the Shining Sarcophagus lineup. It's not that big. It's like it's less than 20 cards, but yeah, this is essentially your core. So yeah. And next off is the Runic stuff. 2 Fountain. This makes it so that all your Runic quick plays become hand traps, essentially. So while you control this, during your opponent's turn, you can activate these from your hand. So all the Runic spells, they have an effect where they can either have a utility effect, or they could summon a Runic fusion monster from your extra deck. So the utility effect, the first effect, will also banish cards off the opponent's deck, because this is supposed to be a milled deck, but we're just using it for utility. If it comes down to it, and you're in like a grindy game state, you could banish cards off the top of your opponent's deck. And then in addition, whenever you activate a Runic spell, you can place up to 3 Runic spells from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck, then draw that same number. So you refill your hand, essentially, and then you'll draw into more Runic spells because you'll probably thin your deck of these. So you get more ammo. So this could search or it could summon a fusion. So keep in mind, all the quick plays Runic cards, they could all summon a fusion. So we're gonna forget that part. Okay, so this can negate monster effects. So it's basically Effect Veiler if you control Fountain. This one could destroy special and monsters. Destruction, 3 of this. It's spell and trap removal. 2 Golden Droplet. This makes your opponent draw a card, then they banish 4 off the top of their deck. It's not that great giving them a free card, but it has synergy with this, so it'll gain a level, so whoop-de-doo. 1 Slumber, this protects a monster 1 time during the turn. Smiting Storm, you banish cards off the top of the deck equal to the number of cards they control, and 1 Dispelling. If your opponent searches a card, it banishes a random card from their hand, and then they banish the top 3 cards of their deck. So these 5 on the bottom here, most of the time you'll just use them to summon the fusions, because the utility effects aren't that great. They come up sometimes, but not really. But yeah, this is the Runic package. If you didn't know what they did already. If you're looking at this deck, I'm assuming you're kind of casual and you're interested in the Yugi stuff. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Because one thing I forgot to mention. If you have, let's say you get Fountain, right? And you have Gold Sark. This needs spells to be able to discard in order to use the anti-graveyard effect. So, when you're using Fountain, you're drawing multiple cards off of it. You're drawing 3 cards, and most of your deck is spells, so you're always going to have ammo for this to be able to... If your opponent has a monster that comes back every turn from the graveyard, you're always going to be able to deal with it. So, that's some nice synergy. I like that. And then for the last 2 cards, I played 2 Droplet. We have the ammo to... We draw lots of cards, we search lots of cards. It's mostly spells, so they can't respond with spells. And if we happen to have a monster in our hand, we also search monsters, so we have that too. So the only way this gets negated is if they have a trap, essentially. So yeah, there's that. And it's helpful at breaking boards, so you can freely just Gandora their life. Yeah, so that's it for the main deck. I mean, it's pretty cool. This boy. This boy just does everything. It's so good. And then for the extra deck, you don't really need your extra deck because I don't know if I mentioned this before, but on the turn after you activate Ties That Bind, it locks you out of the extra deck. So you want to do all your Runic plays before you resolve this, because by the time this is resolved, your opponent will probably have hand trapped you already, because most people aren't going to know what this deck does. So they're going to see this, they're going to be like, oh, it searches on normal summon. They probably won't be able to play after I ash them. But no, you got more stuff to do. So you could pretty much freely resolve your Runic cards, unless they droll you, which in that case sucks, I guess. But yeah, essentially, you'll be doing your Runic plays before you activate Ties of Friendship. So we play 2 Sleipnir. This is literally just board control. It can banish itself in a monster opponent controls quick effect until the end phase. So this just board control. It's just a way to deal with monsters. And then if your opponent searches or adds a card to their hand, you can summon a token. That doesn't matter, but it gives you extra bodies on board, so that's always good. And then Freki, neither player takes damage from this, but if a battle's involving it, it banishes the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. So if you really need to deck them out, this can help with that, I guess. And then if it dies, you could add a Runic card back from grave to hand. I don't know why I fan the deck out. You can't even see the cards. To Gary, it recycles stuff. Yay. And then if it dies, it pops something. To Moonin, it searches a Runic continuous spell. We don't play any of those, but during the end phase, you gain 1,000 life points, so there's that. And then Moonin, or Hugin. This essentially just searches... Where is it? It searches Fountain, and then you discard you discard a card, and then you search Fountain. So that's not really gonna matter, because if you have a Runic card in your hand that you don't really mind using, like a Dispelling, you can just discard it off if you can have this, and then you already have a Runic spell engraved, so you only need 2 more to get the draw 3. So yeah, that's pretty much the deck. I could do a test hand right now. We'll do it. We'll do a test hand. We're gonna see this deck in action, kind of. I mean, we're gonna assume our opponent has no hand traps. I mean, that's likely not gonna happen since Tenpai exists and they play a lot of hand traps. But you know. Okay, we're gonna. Maybe I should pile shuffle. Okay, yeah, we'll pile shuffle real quick, and then we'll show you the insane power this deck has. The insane power. It's gonna be wild. Watch. I probably should have skipped this part, but yeah. Okay, and then we cut. Alright. We got a Golden Droplet, Shining Sark, Freezing Curse, Fountain. Oh, cool, there's a Fountain. Golden Droplet. So first we're gonna Shining Sark. We're gonna grab our Gadget Trio, and then we're gonna get our Gadget Trio. We're gonna search Ties That Bind. And then after that, you know, we're gonna Droplet. Yeah, we're gonna Droplet. We already have a Droplet in hand, so if we need to discard with this, we can. So I guess since we already have the field spell, we can just summon out the You know, yeah, we'll summon out the Sleipnir. We'll summon out the Sleipnir. So we have board control. All right. So then after that, we're gonna activate our Ties That Bind. We're gonna get our 0. And then we're gonna get our 0. Boom. And then after that, we can just place our fountain. And then we have stuff for the next turn. Woohoo. And then if our opponent wants to summon from graveyard, we could pitch Droplet or something. And then we also have this spell negate. Woohoo. So yeah, if they try to summon from grave, we could pitch this, and then we could activate this, and then after this resolves, we can put these 3 on the bottom, and then draw 3 cards. And they're all spells. Great. So yeah, this deck is kind of more casual, but it's fun to play. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. This deck is really fun. I like it. And if you want to try it, go right ahead. I will not stop you. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you enjoyed the content. And with that, I will see y'all in the next video whenever I decide to upload. Alright, see ya.